This is a person I can do money and business with. Number 16, diversification is for absolute sissies, okay? So if you're a sissy and your risk tolerance is very low, it's okay. It's okay to be a sissy. A lot of people are sissies. But if you truly want to create wealth and you're wondering why in your lifetime you've worked for 17 years and you don't have a single penny and you've made $617,000, yet you only have $6,000 to show for it, there's a problem there. There's a problem there. What is the problem? Diversification is a great concept to sell for these expert financial advisors that are playing every single thing safe and all these other things. Yes. Now, for those of you that are watching this and you're 73 years old, diversification may be good for you if you already have hit your goal of $6 million and you're where you're at. You're 62 years old. I respect the fact that you've already hit your numbers. That's solid. Risk tolerance lower, time horizon lower. Okay, you're playing a different game. I'm talking mainly for the people that are in the offensive mode of their lives, that you're trying to get here. Maybe you're
This is important. Seasons are always temporary. Comment below and say at the mental process. Seasons are always temporary. Crisis is not a permanent condition. Right? So it's just a season. Right? So under key to life, right? So is what you have to do is organize yourself to outlast the season. That's all. Right? So as long as you're average, you're going to get what the average people get. You get to that point when you do exactly what you say you have and you're going to do, you're going to get into the next level that no one's going to do for you but you. You need to say it's not over until I win. Comment below at Mentor Purse, because life is not that easy. You have to go through what you go through. Life is not that easy, but you're going to have to go through what you go through. Right? So
diversification is for absolute sissies, okay? So if you're a sissy and your risk tolerance is very low, it's okay. It's okay to be a sissy. A lot of people are sissies. But if you truly want to create wealth and you're wondering why in your lifetime you've worked for 17 years and you don't have a single penny and you've made $617,000, yet you only have $6,000 to show for it, there's a problem there. There's a problem there. What is the problem? Diversification is a great concept to sell for these expert financial advisors that are playing every single thing safe and all these other things. Yes. Now, for those of you that are watching this and you're 73 years old, diversification may be good for you if you already have hit your goal of $6 million and you're where you're at. You're 62 years old. I respect the fact that you've already hit your numbers. That's solid. Risk tolerance lower, time horizon lower. Okay, you're playing a different game. I'm talking mainly for the people that are in the offensive mode of their lives, that you're trying to get here. Maybe you're around this market. I'm not talking to the people that are here. I'm talking to the people that are here. You're trying to get your doubles to go quickly, faster. If you just rely on diversification, 20, 30, 40 years, well, then you just got to know that it's going to take 40 years. It's going to take 30 years. Maybe. That's if everything goes the way it's supposed to be going. So I don't recommend just relying on diversification to take you to where you want to get to. 17. The game is about leverage. Everything is leverage. Now let me explain what leverage means. I'm not saying leverage going to debt with everything. I'm not talking leverage like that. I'm talking leverage, period. What could leverage be? Leverage your business. How can you grow your business if you're running a business? How can you leverage to have more support? How can you leverage to sell more? How can you leverage to expand more? How can you leverage to increase the value of your business more? How can you leverage to market yourself more? How can you leverage to get to the customer faster? How can you leverage to increase the speed of growth of your business? How can you leverage to get certain things going? How can you leverage? Everything is a leverage game. Everything is a leverage game. And the more you study the concept of leverage and the game, how it works, the better it is for your wealth. Number 18, positioning. Positioning has to do with, for instance, I'll tell you what positioning is. We can do a whole thing on positioning, but I'm just going to give it to you in a shorter sense. Positioning. If I'm going to go work at a company and I'm going to have a piece of the equity and I'm going to position myself to own a piece of that company and it's going to go public, that's smart positioning. That's very, very smart positioning. Tom over here, who's our president, Tom created his wealth by positioning. He went and positioned himself in certain places and participated in the victory by owning a piece, and he positioned himself. Sometimes it's positioning. Sometimes it's who you're running with. A lot of times people say, wow, you know, I'm making great income with this company I'm at. Yeah, but you haven't positioned yourself yet because there's no backing on the equity. So it's positioning. You got to also position yourself here to make sure you're taking care of that part, right? Of course, you got to take care of your credit. You got to have high income, savings, investments, but you got to make sure you position yourself properly as well. Number 19, strategic partnerships. Strategic partnerships. the more you can create an environment, it's kind of similar to befriend moneymakers, but this is slightly different because it's intentional. If you can figure, like what we do with our company, is we have strategic partnerships where a lot of people make money, okay? The more people make money, the more people continue to do business with you if there's strategic partnerships. I have strategic partnerships with $400 billion companies, $200 billion companies, $60 billion companies. I have strategic partnerships with a lot of different companies that benefits them, okay? Strategic partnership increases the value of making money because a lot more people are making money with you when they go into business with you. And last but not least, big check syndrome. Let me tell you what the big check syndrome is. Oh my gosh, I've seen so many people screw this whole thing up, and I'll just explain to you what it is. So for instance, say you are doing a real estate, hypothetically, okay? And all of a sudden you get, this one client wants you to sell their home. It's a $3 million home. I'm just throwing numbers out there. And you go and sell this $3 million home, and the check is $100 and some thousand that you get. And you say, oh my gosh, I made $100,000. And for 2 months, you live as if you made $100,000 in a month. What you don't realize is that $100,000 check in a month, you need to look at it as an $8,300 a month income for that year. That's what that means. It's not $100,000. And I've seen so many people who treat this as $100,000 in a month, and they get cocky, arrogant, all this stuff, and then they go back to right here. And the double goes lower and lower and lower. And they don't realize it's just a big payday. Let me explain. Would you rather have, right now, a $500,000 cash I give you? Watch this question, you're gonna answer. Would you rather take a $500,000, okay, given to you, up front I'm gonna give you $500,000, or would you rather take an income stream, guaranteed, okay, of $100,000 over 20 years? Which one would you take? $500,000 up front, $100,000 over 20 years. Which one would you take? You know what, believe it or not, most people will say, well, I think the right answer is $100,000. Most people would take the $500,000. Let me tell you why the $100,000 allows you to do more. The $100,000 is $2 million. The $500,000 is $500,000. See, this gives me the opportunity to have a stronger backing to make bigger decisions to get bigger doubles. Now you may say, Pat, but $500,000, that already puts me here. It's irrelevant if you don't know how to play the money game. It's irrelevant if you don't know how to play the money game. I want high income as well. I want income coming in that feeds my game so I can increase my net worth. This is a very, very important game. So don't get too crazy about big check syndrome and all of a sudden fall for it and lose everything that you got, because it can totally mess up with your net worth and you work all the way back to your double. So
there is only two types of people in this world. Right, so there is the people in life that get hit by life and get knocked down and decide to accept what life has given them, and they settle for it. And then there is people that get hit by life, they go through pain, they face obstacles, they face adversities, but they refuse to give up because they know that they have more potential. They know that they are capable of achieving so much more than what life is currently allowed them to achieve right now. Here is what you should know about winning before you chase it. Winning is not loyal to you. Winning doesn't care about you. Winning doesn't care how smart you are. Winning doesn't care how much sleep you get. Winning doesn't care how hard you work in time. Winning requires all of you and then more, and promise you nothing. It's a mastermind of fear, doubting your mind. It causes after setback after setback. So the question about winning, are you willing to strain when this is unknown? And why chasing this still calling winning? Because the only thing that's guaranteed in life, if you don't chase it, is losing.
This is probably going to be a very emotional video for you to watch. Let me explain to you why that is. Listen, anytime you and I go to two different places in our lives, everybody, you have a lot of people that have lived with you. Mom, dad, brother, sister, friends, wife, boy, all this stuff you've had. But there's only one person that's lived with you every second of your life, and that's you, right? We get emotional thinking about our kids, our mom, dad, but there's a whole different emotional aspect when you go back and you think about the 6-year-old version of you and what you were thinking about. Remember, you know how you take a picture and you look at the picture when you were 6 and it has a fear in their eyes and you're afraid. You're like, man, what were you thinking about? And what was this kid thinking about? I have a picture of myself. I look at it, it's turmoil, Iran. I'm like, kid, what are you thinking about? And I get emotional. And on the flip side of it, you go and think about the 40-year-old version of you, 60, 70, that gets you emotional. Because what is life going to be like? Am I going to reach my full potential? That is a scary thought, by the way. You know why? Because no one else matters in this world when it comes down to that. It's only you versus you. Nobody does. Not your competitors, nothing.